right, welcome to our final Culture Couch Live going into the holidays. And what an exciting holiday period it is. I'm sure you've all got something magnificent planned. Now, just to wrap up the year, what about a tip, either something, the main thing you've learned this year, something going into the holiday period, or even something for 2024? So I've given you a little bit of scope there to so let's wrap it up, give our clients and people watching something to sort of take away for 2023, do during the holiday break or heading into 2024. So, Em, you're always ready to go. So
I'm ready to go, mate. Ready to rock. My biggest learning would be the compounding of behaviour and how it impacts performance. So whenever we're working with any team, we'll make an adjustment to maybe the way they run their meetings or the cadence or whatever it might be. You can't expect the impact on performance to be immediate. It's the compounding. So I think the lesson learned is that leaders have to implement change and then be disciplined enough to stick to it through the murkiness. There's going to be uncomfortableness. There's going to be awkwardness, trying something different. So sticking to it and letting the compounding of the behaviors become habits, then you see the results. That's the learning, I think. And the tip is for leaders to run meetings, not thinking about the content they're going to share, but the questions that they want to ask, and asking the questions, having everyone speak before they do, so they speak last, so they can catch the good and coach the gaps. That's my learning and my tip, and I'm shooting it over to Sheza for the next one, please.
Thank you. I think my learning was to really take care of yourself. So it's been 52 weeks, and I had a realization a couple of weeks ago that I hadn't had a break all year. So definitely putting yourself first and looking after yourself is definitely my learning. My tip is I did a workshop a couple of weeks ago and I did a back-to-back, and in both sessions it was really powerful to hear the shout outs. So there was a couple of people who were emotional and in tears, and that was because they had both given and received shout outs, and they were grateful for their team. So shout outs are really, really, really powerful. Yes.
Excellent.
That was it.
Who are you throwing to, Shez?
Throw over to Jared. Sorry.
Oh, G, new nickname.
Didn't know who you were talking to there. My advice or learning or tip or whatever it is I think just to be really conscious of the introverts in the group. I think too often the extroverts move quickly and just don't always take the time to give the space for the quieter people in the group to have their say, and the input that they can bring is quite significant. So don't just move quickly. Use different techniques to give the introverts or the quieter people in the group the opportunity to have their voice. And then my tip or whatever it was is to have fun. Have fun. We spend too much time at work not to enjoy it, and I think it just fascinates me why people behave in certain ways or come to work when they're not enjoying it. So over the holiday break, make sure you have fun and come back refreshed and kick on the rest of 2024 with fun.
Very, very good.
Love it.
Jez, who are you going to?
Oh, I've got to pick. I better go to Mark.
What was the cat's name? Do you know?
I actually don't know. I'm in a friend's house. I'm too scared to push it.
I didn't know. Maybe you're trying to bring the cat in as an introvert, just to.
I tried. I encouraged it. It didn't speak.
Hey, at least you gave it some space, which I like. So, sorry, Mark, for interrupting. Off you go, mate.
That's actually a good segue, and G, I think I'm going to grab that, mate. That's knocks about 20 years off your life too, I think. So, as my light just disappears. So mine's it's a good lead on, actually. You're talking about inviting people in and giving them space. My biggest learning is you can solve everything through conversation. And if you don't have the conversation, then that's when all the bad stuff starts to happen in the workplace. And yes, it has to be done right place, right way, right time. But if you just focus on actually having the conversation and how you need to have that conversation, then yes, most things in a workplace and in life are solved through having the conversation. Don't put it off.
Yep. Right.
Tip, a little bit like G, take time to reset. If you do have time off, if you do have time away from work, don't spend it thinking about work. Think of spending about yourself, your family, your loved ones, the people around you, because we know that when you come back into work, there's going to be the stresses of what were there last year. So don't take time over the holidays to stress about that. Think about the people that matter most to you in life, and that'll ready you best for being the best work mate or teammate they possibly can when you get back into work. That's me. It's been a pleasure to work with all you guys. That's all I want to say in 2023 as well.
Thanks, mate. Who are you off
Have
to?
you on board, mate?
I'm going to be AP. Finish with the captain.
Thank you, Mark. My biggest lesson in 2023 for me is the power of little and often. And Emil will attest to this. When I first came here back in 2022, and I was in client sessions, it was really fascinating to see sometimes the simplicity of what teams could do was so powerful. And it's just continued, and I've seen that in with our clients, and sometimes we have the gift to come back 3-4 months later, and they've just taken one thing for 3-4 months. And often when you're in it, you don't see it, but as someone who is not in the mix of everyday operations, and you come 3-4 months down, you see such a big difference. And I've taken this on personally, so I've committed to, I don't really always eat breakfast in the morning. Sometimes I'm just out of the door. So I've committed to just meditating and eating within 30 minutes of waking up. And it's just that simple little tool, and it's applied at work, at personally, and also just with my personality. So we also do profiling, right? So I've understood myself way more. So I have big ideas and I want things to be done a certain way, and to the full capacity. So it's been a big lesson for me, maybe not so much for maybe the process-oriented people, but when I have a big idea, I want to accomplish it. But it's the power of the little and often. Just commit to one thing for 3-4 months, and that's all you can do. And if you can review it, awesome. And also accountability. I work on accountability. So if you have a friend or a colleague who you can trust, that always works for me.
Oh,
I'm going to pass it over to Carly. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really nice to reflect. And I think we give that message to our teams all the time, that taking the time, particularly at the end of the year, because it has been a massive year. And I know for our team on the screen, it really has been a massive year. So we're going to spend next week reflecting on that and just picking out what went well and what didn't, so that we can learn for the next year. So we would absolutely recommend that to our clients. I think the learning for me with a lot of my teams recently that we've worked with is the fear of real talk as we go into the sessions, because the mindset is that real talk always is going to be difficult or awkward or negative. And just reframing that around the fact that real talk is any conversation about performance. So it doesn't need to be negative, and the way we use our language is really important as well. So the message, it feels negative, but you can always flip it and make it a positive message, or not a positive message, but just say it in a good way so that you get the right outcome. And I think that for me has been a really, really big learning recently. So again, following on from what everyone said, the tip to our clients is that, as Mark said, have the conversation, but just really think about what you're saying and how you're saying it, because you can always solve what you need to solve with the conversation. I think that's really important.
Fantastic.
And yeah, I know you're about to say this, Ruzi, so I'm stealing your thunder, but we just really want to say thank you to all of our clients. We have amazing clients all across the globe, and they trust us with their teams and with their dynamics and with helping them push their culture forward. And we love working in those workshops, seeing them improve, seeing them get better, and having them trust us for advice and to help them along the way. So, you know, we really love what we do, and we really love the clients we work with, and we're absolutely looking forward to continuing the journey with them all next year. And I know you were going to say that, Ruzi, so you can now spin it the way you're going to spin it. Over to you.
That's good. So I'll wrap it up. I'll give my tip and my learning together. I think that we were in a workshop the other day and someone looked out at their behavior page and they were working out what was working and what wasn't working, and said, this is all about people. And it is. It's all about people. It doesn't matter what your company is. My thing is to wrap it, look after your people. If you look after your people in the ways that the crew have just sort of mentioned to you, build really strong relationships. And that's going to continue over the holidays with your family. You said that, Mark, the people you're hanging out with build really, really strong relationships, have the conversations. If we can get our people right within the business, doesn't matter whether we're selling cars or we're giving loans or we're putting planes up or, you know, whatever we're doing, you'll get things right. So have the conversations, build the relationships, care about your people. And that's not just at work, because we've got a really good opportunity to do that. And to wrap that up, be present. What does present mean? You know, and that's a really big thing. How can we be present during the holiday break? And then how can we be ready to come back being present? So I really.
So did you say give presents or be present?
Well, hopefully I get some presents. But that'd be nice. So Tammy, if you're watching Culture Cats live, you know, I've been a pretty good boy. I'm in the nice list. I'm not in the naughty list. I'm in the nice list. So, you know, I'm expecting something pretty good. So well done, Jess, for bringing that up. Thank you. But also thanks to the team. You know, thanks team. You know, Carl, you mentioned the clients. I'll just go on the team. So thanks to everyone on this call. We've had a really good year, successful year, and have a really, really good break. You all deserve it. Have fun. Lots of love to all your family and yourselves, and have a great time. And thanks to everyone out there. As Carly said, we've really enjoyed this year, and we're really looking forward to a break ourselves, and we're looking forward to 2024. So happy holidays, everyone. And thank you very much.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you. Bye. Happy holidays.
Cheers.
Same.